Hi, Terry here with HVAC Maintenance and Supplies, or mainsupplies.com. Today we're going to talk a little bit about air conditioner repair. There's a lot of different things before you call a technician out that simple things you can take a look at and check on your system if you want to get into repairing it yourself a little bit. One of the first things that you always want to do anytime you're going to start working with your air conditioner is come around and and turn off the power to it. Usually there's some sort of a disconnect box like this or a breaker downstairs. You can either pull the disconnect out or a breaker in here. There may even be fuses in there that could potentially be out that you would want to have an electrician look at if you're having issues. Or your breaker downstairs could be tripped. If that's tripping, you can try resetting it. Sometimes they will trip in a storm. You reset them, they'll be fine. Other times it may be an indication that you're going to have a problem with your compressor or something shorted out here. So first off, anytime you're having issues with your air conditioner and anytime throughout the season, you should always be doing a maintenance on it, at least once, if not a couple times a year, not only to keep the amp draw down, but to prolong the life of your air conditioning unit. A lot of the things are real simple to do from an air conditioning maintenance standpoint. And on our website, mainsupplies.com, we sell 3 or 4 different air conditioning maintenance kits at different costs, as well as coil cleaners and everything else. A lot of our kits include the coil cleaner. It's just a foaming type coil cleaner that you spray on the coil and it foams up, and then you go ahead and flush it out. Some of them have the coil coating treatment, which keeps dust and dirt from sticking to it after you clean it. Condensate pan tablets, some air conditioner brushes, filter air fresheners, air conditioning fin combs for straightening out dents in your fins. So a variety of different things at mainsupplies.com. Again, always do maintenance on your air conditioner. If you're having problems, start with a good maintenance with our maintenance kits or our coil cleaners. So some of the other things you can check that are real simple when you get into running your air conditioner is the first thing you want to do if it's not working. Make sure that your thermostat is set in the cool position and the temperature is turned down. So first, go verify that your fan is running downstairs. Always check your filter, make sure it's clean. If it was really plugged and you're noticing ice, pull it out, put in a new filter, put it on fan on, cool off for at least 10-12 hours and let it thaw out, because it will actually form a block of ice in there. You let that completely thaw out, put your clean filter in, and start it back up, and you may be good to go and you won't have any more problems. If it does continue to freeze up or not cool and everything's running, you may have some sort of a Freon problem, which in a lot of cases you're going to have to get service techs out there to look at those things. So we're just going to go over some of the easy things for you to check today. So again, with the power off, you can pull off this some sort of a panel to get at the electrical. Just inspect all your low voltage wires, make sure the mice didn't chew through them. Inspect all the wires in here. You can look at your contactor in here. If it's real pitted and burnt and black and has a lot of black burnt marks to it, that could be an issue that you got a bad contactor. Also, this is a capacitor. If that's bulged up or you have any burnt connections on there, it may be a problem with the capacitor. A lot of these parts aren't easily accessible at Home Depot. If you're real savvy, you can get online and try to order some of this stuff based off of the numbers on the individual product. This particular one has a hard start on it, which gives the compressor a kick on startup. Those can be added if you're having issues with your compressor locking up and tripping breakers. Sometimes they'll give you some more life out of the system. So if you come outside and everything's running and the air coming out of here is really hot, this line right here, this is the liquid line, this should be warm but not so hot that you can't touch it. The other line should be relatively cool or cold, probably somewhere in the 50-degree mark, sweating, depending on what your conditions are inside. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb between what those two line temperatures should be. If this line is super hot, it means that you probably have an issue with your coil out here and it definitely needs to be cleaned. It means your amp draws high, you're not condensing your Freon back to a liquid. So you should hear a low-key humming or grinding noise. That's your compressor. The other thing is that this fan up on top should be spinning. And if that fan's not, you can reach in there real careful and give it a spin. And if it spins and starts taking off, then you know you may have a capacitor problem. The capacitor's function is to kick the compressor over on startup and give the fan a startup on there. So again, if you have a bad fan motor, you can always inspect the wires first, but You can get the numbers off of it, and again, if you're mechanically inclined, it can be changed yourself. Just use, caution. When it comes to the Freon part of things with checking it, you're probably going to need a technician out there. If you get technicians that are coming out and they're telling you every year you're losing a little bit of Freon or it's low, you can jump online. We have the Freon leak repair kits, again, at mainsupplies.com. Some different options for putting a sealant in there if they're having trouble, actually finding that leak in the system. So again, can't stress enough the maintenance. Check all the simple things first, because so many service calls are something real simple that by watching this video and just coming out, you can save yourself hundreds of dollars. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, and you can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube, HVAC Maintenance, for a lot of other videos when you're having issues. And again, mainsupplies.com.